guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to give you guys another advice video. This one, if you can't tell already, is going to be about dating and relationships for single moms. So if that interests you, then keep watching. So if you guys are new to my channel or if you've been watching for a while, just FYI, I am not with either of my children's fathers as we speak. My oldest daughter's father, he and I were together while I was pregnant, before I was pregnant, and for a little while after I had J. Marie. And basically we just figured out that we didn't mesh well together. I think we were young and it was a stressful situation and we just did not mesh well together, so we're not together. However, he is one of my dearest friends now, after the fact. He is one of my dearest friends. I know I can go to him for anything. We talk all the time. We talk about a bunch of different stuff. He's a great dad and we're really good co-parents together, and he does everything for J. Marie and we really appreciate him, so that's good. And then my youngest daughter, Italy's dad, he and I are also not together right now. We were together before I had Italy. We broke up while I was pregnant, and then we were on and off. We were like on and off, a whole entire mess. And then after we broke up, we were like on and off, random, like we were just a complete and total mess up until not really that long ago. So yeah, we are not together right now either. And I wanted to come and talk to you guys about, or talk to, any other mothers that are new single moms or new moms in general, and that are, new single moms or single moms in general. I wanted to talk to you guys about my opinion on dating, as a single mom. Now, it's pretty obvious of a statement, I think, that, you don't want to have like a bunch of different guys or girls, if that's your preference or whatever, or relationships, I guess is what I'm trying to say, in and out of your children's lives. Same as you don't want people in and out of your children's lives. Kids thrive off stability and stuff, and of course when it comes to relationships, you want that relationship to be a model of a relationship that they should aspire for. So I think that that's one of the hard parts when it comes to dating, is because you kind of have to figure out, is this person really someone that I want to be with before you get them too involved in your kids' lives, which as a single parent, especially a single parent that may not have, as much support from your co-parent or from your family or whatever, so that you can have, the time apart from your children to really get to know someone or go out on dates and stuff like that. It's really hard to really get to know someone before, you have them around your kids, because as single moms, we're like always with our kids. And me being a single mom of two that have two different dads, I am always with one of my kids. So it's really hard to really get to know someone and really decide, is this someone that I want to really be with before, I have them around my kids, basically. But I do think that that's something that's important. However, I don't think that you should like talk to someone for like if you really do like them, you should talk to them for like a year or something, and then still not meet your kids. Because what if you really like them for you, and then you bring them around your kids and you just find out that it's not a fit? Then you just wasted a whole entire year. So I think that there's kind of a fine balance in between figuring out if they're good for you and then introducing them to your kids and making sure that it's all a good fit. Also, I think that another really important tip is to, as a single mom or whatever, or as a mom that just broke up with, your child's father or whatever, I think that it's important to really spend some time by yourself. I think that it's, obviously everybody knows, it's usually sometimes a little bit easier to get over someone if you're already talking to somebody else, or if you start talking to somebody else, like you did in high school or whatever. But I think that it's different when you have a kid. I think that you really need to spend some time with yourself, and also the intense, connection and love and bond that you have with someone that you have had your kid with, regardless of the situation between you two, whether it's good or bad, or you guys are on good terms or bad terms, a really strong bond and love that you guys have for one another, that isn't like any other relationship really in the world, or really, that isn't really like any other relationship, because you guys have, you know, had a kid together and, you know, brought life into this world together. So I think that it's really important, and I think that this is where I kind of faltered, but I've learned from, is it's really important to take the time out to, you know, be with yourself and really make sure that, because it might not even hit you until like later on down the line that you really aren't quite over it yet. So I think that it's really important to give yourself that time, you know, look deep and make sure that you're really over that whole entire situation, because you don't want to get in a relationship with someone and then on down the line realize that, you know, they really are a good person, but you're really not over, you know, your child's father or whatever, because that really, really sucks. Because then, you know, you have to deal with your child's father, you know, especially if they're a part of your child's lives, you have to deal with them on like a daily basis. So it makes it harder to get over them. So really make sure that you give yourself that chance and you give yourself that time to really get over them before you start talking or dating or introducing other people to, you know, your kids. I also think that it's important that if you are, you know, co-parenting and in a good place with your children's fathers or whatever, I think that it's really important that before you introduce your partner or who you're going to be with to your kids, or before they're around your kids at all, I personally think that it's really important, especially if you want to have a good co-parenting relationship, to introduce those two people. And I know that me personally, if I was dating someone that had a kid, I wouldn't want to be around their kid or meet their kid until I met their child's mother and I made sure that everything was okay and stuff. I just think that that's a sign of respect, and I know that, you know, that's someone that he's going to have to deal with for the rest of his life. So if I want us to be good and I want me and the kids to be good, I want to make sure that that relationship is good too. And I think that that's just a sign of maturity. And that's just where I feel like I come from. Obviously with Patrick being gone in Las Vegas now, if I were to get in a relationship with someone, it would be harder for, you know, him to meet them, but I would want to, you know, communicate with him and keep him on the same page about what's going on, not because like my relationship or whatever is any of his business, but just because I feel like that's a respectable thing to do, co-parenting wise, and I think that that helps with you guys' trust too. So I think that that's important. And also, you know, with J. Marie's dad, Martavius, he's been talking to someone for like a really long time now, and I love her to death, and I know that, you know, sometimes if there's something that I can't or don't want to, which hardly ever happens, but I can't or don't want to go to him about, I know that I can always go to her, and I know that she respects my child, and I know that not only does she respect my child, but she respects me, which I think is important, and that in turn makes me respect her and makes me respect her time that I know that she's going to be around my daughter or around J. Marie. And I think that that's really great too, and I think that she really respects and understands that to Martavius, sometimes I'm going to be first and she's going to have to be second because I am his child's mother, and J. Marie's always going to be first before anybody else. So I really, really appreciate that, and I want to make sure that, you know, we're all on the same page with that. And if I were to get in a relationship with somebody, you know, they would have to understand that not only do my kids come before them, but if Patrick needed something or, you know, something like that, he would come first to them, just because, you know, I have to deal with him. He's my family now. So I think that that's important too. Also, I think that it's important when you're picking someone that you want to date or whatever, I think that it's important to really decide if that is someone that not only do you want to be with or you have fun with, or you know, you want to date, but make sure that that's someone that you really see yourself in or with for the long run. Like, I feel like after you have kids, you really can't get in relationships anymore just because you want to go on dates and go out to eat and go to movies and do cute stuff and take cute pictures or whatever together. I feel like after you have kids, it really gets put into perspective that you really need to start dating people for marriage. You don't need to just date someone because, you know, you like them and you want to be with them. So if you can't see like a permanent future with yourself and that person, then I really don't feel like that's something that you would want to invest your time in. I know that there's some people that I personally really like, and I think that they're cool people and I would love to date them, but I don't see myself in the long run being happy being in a relationship with them, so I can't. So I think that it's important, you know, not only to date someone just to date someone, but to date someone for marriage, because, you know, obviously we want to have stable relationships, you know, shown to our kids and in our kids' lives, especially if, you know, you're not with their dad or whatever, and that's already one example of a, you know, failed relationship or whatever for them. I think it's important for them to have strong built relationships in their lives, or, you know, examples in their lives too. And I think that another one of the hardest things for me, even in friendships, but in relationships, for people to understand, and this is just me venting, is that especially if I'm just now talking to you or I'm just now dating you and you haven't met my kids yet, it's really hard for me to, you know, be able to give you that like undivided attention, or see you as often as you may like to see me or whatever, or give the attention and time, you know, give that attention or time to the relationship, just because I have so many other things going on. So it's sometimes hard for me to find, you know, like friends or relationships that really understand that. Like they'll be like, oh, Cameo, can we go to this movie, blah, blah, and I'll be like, I mean, I could, but I have a babysitter for this kid, or not this kid, or whatever. And sometimes I don't want to go on a date. I literally just want to sit at home with my kids, and sometimes it's hard for people to understand that. So I need someone that has, or you need to look for someone that has understanding of that and patience of that, and they're still gonna, you know, stick with you and still be interested in you and still want to get to know you. And also, I think that one more important thing is to really take it slow in the beginning, really take it slow with someone when it comes to, like, you know, sexual stuff. And yes, I'm gonna go there because we all know guys would love to get in your pants. They want the cookie. But I think that, you know, when you have a kid, or when you're like me and you have 2 kids, obviously people know that I have had sex. Obviously people know that I have had a kid, you know, so I think it's important to take that slow, just because you don't want to get in a situation where it's a guy that makes it seem like he really genuinely cares about you and stuff, but really he just wants to get in the cookie jar because he knows that that is a possibility because you have kids. So I think that it's really important to, you know, hold off on yourself and take that relationship slow, and make sure that it's something that has longevity to it and something that he really is dedicated and invested and interested in. So yeah, those are my dating advice, tips, opinions. Again, it's hard. It's a hard balance between getting to know the person before you introduce them to your kids, and like figuring out when is the appropriate time to introduce them to your kids, because I feel like if I'm talking to someone for like 8 months and I still haven't introduced them to my kids, then I feel like that's almost a waste of time, because if I've talked to them for that long and I feel like we, you know, get along well and stuff, and then I introduce them to my kids and it's not a fit, then I just wasted like 8 months just talking to someone. So, you know, I've already invested like feelings and time and stuff into that relationship, so, you know, that sucks too. So, yeah, I don't know. I hope this helps somebody. I don't know. What do you guys think about dating after becoming a single mom, or dating while being a single mom? Let me know down below. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Can I ask y'all a really good question? Why is it that I want guys that look like this, instead I attract guys that look like this? So let's go through my Facebook messages, but just for shits and giggles, and we'll see the possible applicants to dating me. We've got a I want you. We have a you're from ... We have a thanks F.A. the request and I gotta say you gorgeous. We got a thanks for the ad sexy spelled S-E-X-X-I. I go by K9. Boy. We've got a I'm trying to fuck with you. Got number? We have a where you at tonight? We have a let's see. We have a gorgeous or whatever,